Funding for the Trade Best Practice series is provided by the Benjamin Moore & Company Foundation in partnership with Teach Construction and through the generous support of PDCA sponsors and members. Time to get organized again. There are at least two kinds of planning for a painting project: site planning and sequence planning, or just sequencing. We've talked about site planning before. That's the shop area of a worksite. Let's revisit that. It's where tools and materials are stored in a neat and organized manner. This is critical. Remember, an organized job site is a safe job site. This means return equipment to its proper place after use, coil hoses and cords to eliminate tripping hazards, sweep up trash and debris, do not allow scrap to accumulate, clean up spilled liquids immediately to help prevent a slip and fall. Keep walkways clear, no debris, boxes or trash in walkways or passageways. Okay, so the other kind of planning is sequencing. It's just as important, but it takes a big picture, longer-term view. So for a small residential project, sequencing means prepping the upstairs bedrooms on Monday so you can work your way down to the dining room on Thursday. But for a large commercial job, sequencing means balancing demanding production schedules with the needs of other on-site trades and all the other changes that happen on complex jobs. How about some examples? You've got the exterior of an 8-story hotel to paint starting tomorrow and 10 days of rain in the forecast. How do you move your labor force and reschedule? Or the doors you're going to stain a week from Monday are now scheduled for delivery in 6 weeks. Can you adjust what's already scheduled 6 weeks from now? Or you've got 20 painters working inside that same 8-story hotel. What's happening on the 4th floor? Which materials are needed on the 5th floor? And who is working on the 6th floor? Yeah, you got to keep a lot of balls in the air. Sequencing is a skill required on all projects, but if you are a natural planner and organizer, you'll find those skills in high demand in the painting industry. And you'll have a pretty clear career path ahead of you. Now, let's take a minute to go a little deeper into hand tool safety, sharp tools in general. Always carry sharp tools in sheaths or holsters. When handing a tool to someone, direct sharp points and cutting edges away from you and the other person. Utility knives. Cut away from your body. Carry knives with their tips pointed towards the floor. Retract or cover the blade when not in use. Screwdrivers. Always match the size and type of screwdriver blade to fit the head of the screw. This may seem like common sense, but if you don't have the right size screwdriver, you can slip from your mark and get a good knuckle buster, or worse. Do not put your fingers near the blade of the screwdriver when tightening a screw. Do not use a screwdriver as a punch, chisel, or pry bar. Proper tool use and worksite organization keeps you working safely and efficiently. We want you returning home at the end of the day no worse for the wear. Okay, so let's go see how worksites get organized and sequenced. Field to the... No. To the field! Worksite organization is essential to keeping a project on schedule and safe. This includes taking care of your tarps. Folding large tarps sometimes is a 2-person job. But sometimes on smaller projects, you might be the only painter on site and will have to fold them by yourself. After all your tarps are folded, stack them neatly until you are ready to take them to your trailer, truck, or van. Notice how everything inside this work van has its own place. Caulk has a designated place, and there's even a place to store unused poles. If you work with power tools, such as a power sander, a storage container will help ensure everything remains organized. When working on interior repaint jobs, you'll often have to remove switchblade covers. A good tip to make sure you don't lose any is to put all covers into a Ziploc bag and store within your workshop area. At the end of the day, make sure you put tape and tools away. As you gain experience, you may attend sequencing meetings. Here, site supervisors and job leads gather to go over current and upcoming projects. Making sure job sites are properly staffed, scheduled, and safe are always top priorities. On the site that we're on right now, this commercial site, what are some of the keys to organization here that's different from other places?
We have a trailer out here. We have our shop vans fully loaded, all organized, which is key to have everything close to you.
What's the connection between an organized site and a safe site?
Where we're at today, cars could actually back up and run into our stuff, so it's very important to keep everything into one location so it doesn't create a hazard with anybody that may be walking by or driving by. We have cones out because we want to make sure everybody is fully aware where we're at, especially when there's cars driving by, and they know not to come into the area that we're working.
So I see your employees taking a lot of care to cover cars and get things organized, and sometimes I wonder if as much time is spent on that than the actual painting. I mean, isn't that like a waste of time? It looks like a whole day could be spent on just getting ready.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it this way, Chris. We're gonna be painting for weeks, and one day out of weeks is really not that much.
So from starting out at the beginning of the day and ending your day, what is the process of keeping things organized?
Our guys get here early on this big commercial project. The first thing to do is open their trailer. It's all organized. They get in there, they grab their paint out, they put it where they need to, grab the pumps. That's the very beginning of the process, getting their lifts into place, cones out. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. It's just rewind.
What does being organized really get you guys at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, you look professional first off. You got everything together. You're saving time, you're saving money, and you're keeping your guys safe.
I got into painting right out of high school. I needed to pick up a trade. I didn't have money for college, and I already had children. So I enjoyed painting because the aesthetic look when you're done with the project, the painters sell the project. After a couple years in painting, I got into college and started doing blueprint reading and estimating, where I actually learned the background and the office part of the trade. And right now I serve as Director of Operations for SPI. I've been in the paint industry in Denver for 25 years. Know a lot of painters, been through a lot of projects, and just enjoy what I do on a daily basis. The challenges of completing projects on time, on budget, it's always a challenge, but we manage somehow.
Next up, priming. Sequencing. I'm doing it! I'm doing it!